Hello, hello. Welcome to my first vlog. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying this. Let's figure it out together. So, what I want to talk about today is pain with intimacy after baby. Okay, this is a hot topic. There's a lot of opinion on it, so I really want to talk about a few things today. A lot of times I have women come into my clinic around that 6-week mark and they say, my OB released me to do whatever I want to do. What do I want to do? Right? Okay. We don't know what we want to do. We don't know why there might be pain. So let's break this down. Number one reason why I see a lot of women have pain in that vulva, vagina after baby. Hormones. Okay. So after you have your baby, you go into what we call the hormonal dump. You have the biggest change in hormones you're ever going to see in your life in that first 24 to 48 hours. When this happens, we're going to focus on two main hormones. You have an increase in prolactin. Your prolactin is what stimulates your milk production. And then you have a decrease in estrogen. So when this happens, the estrogen is really responsible for a healthy vulva and elasticity in organs. So when we're pregnant, our placenta is releasing all this estrogen, and it has to because we need kind of this nice supple movement within the fetus, the pelvic floor of the body to allow for the growth of the baby. Then when we lose all this estrogen, everything starts to recoil, rebound, and get rigid. Okay, so this is really important because when we're in this recoiling, rebuilding phase, things are stiff. Okay, so when a penis is coming in and bouncing on something that's rigid, it's not going to feel good. Okay, so we really kind of need to honor that. Now, should you quit nursing? Should you change your nursing plan for anything for sex? Absolutely not. Okay, the further and further you get away from this, from that initial birth, the more your estrogen will change, and the more it's going to increase up. And then, especially once you get your cycle back, we see it come up again, okay? But it takes time. I mean, this is why they say in the new research, like it takes about 18 months for the body to kind of get back to what it was because this is such a big hormone thing, okay? Next, your pelvic floor is gonna have to stretch 25 to 245 of its normal capacity to accommodate, for allowed the baby come out. Okay, so think of like whiplash. When we kind of have this big movement, it doesn't always feel good when it heals. Okay, so when we have these big stretch of muscles, penetration on it and touching it and frictioning it does not necessarily feel good. So this is just kind of saying when our body heals, we need to allow for that spontaneous healing, and it takes months, okay, to let things come back in. And coming back to estrogen, that recoiling is really important, so we need to honor that space. Next, tearing. Okay, whether you had a first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree, we had an injury to the perineal site. Now, coming back to estrogen, estrogen promotes healthy vulva. It helps healing. So when we have a decrease in this, it just slows down the healing. Your body's also so concerned with feeding your baby that it makes healing a little bit more latent. Okay, so at that tear site, we just need to think as new scar tissue is laying down and we're getting this new like collagen matrix like this, friction over it isn't necessarily going to feel the best. Okay, so kind of we're going to come back to something else. So, but these first three, hormone changes, stretching of the pelvic floor, tear site, one thing that I absolutely love, because all these have one thing in common, estrogen. I love topical estrogen. At your 6-week appointment, talk to your provider. Even at an earlier appointment, call, when you're 2 days leaving the hospital. Hey doc, can I get some topical estrogen? It is going to make night and day difference. Typically, they have a plan of care for how they like to use it and prescribe it. Ask. I have my thoughts on it. Going to stay in my mind, not vocalize those. But that's going to be a big thing. And then last thing that we don't talk about enough is your body and your brain has to rebuild confidence. When you bring a child into this world, usually the last thing on your mind is an orgasm. Okay, I said it. You're thinking about, is the baby gonna wake up during this? Did I get that laundry done? When did I pump last? When did I nurse last? Am I gonna leak milk? Am I gonna leak pee? There's so much. Your whole body is so new, and we need to really honor that space. So give yourself grace in the rebuilding confidence phase for motherhood. Now, what do I think you can do about this? Obviously see a pelvic floor PT, but also really honor the stage where your body's at and let it heal. Hope you enjoyed.